friends, so today I am going to show you, I have fangs in, so I have a slight lisp. I'm going to show you how I made these fins and the headpiece for my shiny Gyarados cosplay. So I have a full set of armor planned, but I wanted to start with the head. I always start head first. I dive head first into costumes, don't I? I'm also going to show how I attach everything. And then real quick before we hop into the tutorial, I do have a free written tutorial over on my Patreon on how I made these fangs. Because I really didn't feel like buying bottom fangs because commercially produced fangs are normally like way too big for me. I have a very small mouth and very small teeth. If you want to go see how I made these, I'll put a link in the description. Again, it's completely free and it's public. Like you don't need an account or anything. So yeah, let's just jump into how I made this a thing. So I started with the fins. I drew a pattern onto some patterning paper and I used some black Warbler to make them. I could have used like 2mm foam, but I just wanted to go with Warbler for some reason. Also, look at that butt. Wow, I've been doing 100 squats a day, guys. Can you tell? Oh, nope, me either. Yeah, I know. So now they're cut out and I look less than thrilled at this. So now I'm cutting out the bone part, I think. The main support, I guess, is what I'll call it. It's the red part, or blue if you're looking at the non-shiny version. And I just slapped that onto 8mm foam, trace it, and cut it out. I cut out 4 pieces of them since I'll be sandwiching the Warbler between the foam. Also, to get this pattern, I literally traced the fins on Gyarados' official art, and I just sized them to my head. I think they're like 6 inches long. Then I just sand the edges to smooth everything out a little bit. After that, I glue the pieces onto Warbler. I pick up my rotary tool and I sand the edges. I also hit the edges with some high grit sandpaper, just to smoothen things out a little bit more. After that, I heat up the Warbler and create little fun wave things. I'm doing this with some scissors because Warbler gets kind of hot. But I'm just basically bumping up those ridges that I made, just to make it a little more interesting, I guess. I don't actually know. So I'm stealing this footage from a Twitch stream where I made the headpiece live. So I cut the star looking piece out of some 10mm foam. Aw, thank you Kawaii Potato for the follow. So now I'm preparing to cut out channels down the middle of the piece and the side arm things. We'll call it the starfish. I don't know what else it would be. And this will allow the starfish to carve in, and it creates a somewhat sharp angle on the outside, if that makes sense. So I'm basically holding my blade at an angle, slicing the foam, making sure not to cut all the way through. Make sure you do not cut all the way through or else you will have weird lines on the outside. So I do that on both sides and take out the piece that I cut, and then thus creates a channel. Now for kitty pets. Wow. Wow, Bean. So the rest of that video got corrupted somehow. I'm not exactly sure what happened. I can't edit the end of the video. It just completely freezes my Sony Vegas and it's absolutely wild. I have no idea what happened. But anyway, basically what I did was I cut channels out of like this area and this area and this area, and then I peeled them out and then I pushed it together and I glued it, and that's what makes this like this edge, this angle. You can kind of see it in the lighting. There's a really fun angle on there. Yeah, wow. So yeah, that's basically all I did, and then I filled the back with some foam clay, and so that it could have a flat back, and that's basically it. So that's what I was doing there. That's the end of that. So let's move on to whatever the next part is, which I think is filling the back of it with foam clay. So now I'm just adding foam clay to the back of the piece and smoothing it out. This just hides the seams that I made in the back. Once it dries, I sand it to smooth it out. After plasti dipping, I did a light coat of this color shift paint in red, sanded that down just a little bit to get rid of any brush strokes, and now I'll be airbrushing it until it's a perfect solid color, nice and smooth and pretty and beautiful. Oh my god, I love the way it came out. This is the same paint I used on the horns I made back in December. It flashes a beautiful purplish blue, which is perfect because it kind of like hints at normal Gyarados in there, you know, the blue. I also, I didn't get footage of this, but I did shade it a little bit. I just added some black to that red color shift paint, and I just hit the edges and stuff and in the middle of the starfish, and things happened. So I got this pretty red wig off Amazon. It's a lace front, it's long and it's thick and I love it. So I cut off the lace. And this is how I would like everything to sit. I'd like to do this without a headband because the wig is kind of tight on my head. So we're gonna have to get creative. So I spent the next 30 minutes trying to pry apart some magnets. Once I get one pulled off, I glue it to the back of the headpiece starfish thing. To attach it to the wig, I slide a magnet under the wig and attach it to the headpiece. It's a wig sandwich! I ended up adding another magnet as well to keep it from spinning, and these magnets are so strong, like you don't have to worry about this popping off, like, at all. And then the force of the wig against my head keeps the magnets in place, so I don't have to glue anything to the wig at all. Although you could if you wanted to, you don't have to. To attach the fins, oh, little fins. I drilled 3 holes. Although right here, I'm only drilling 2, but then I was like, oh no, I need 3 holes. I need another hole. So there are 3 holes in total. I'll be attaching the screws to the fins, and then I shove it through the wig and secure them with some hex nuts. To keep the screws secure, I glue them into the fins. I poke the screws through the netting in the wig and secure the nuts, and then I cover that in Warbler. Warbler can be easily peeled away from the wig, so I can reuse the wig for something else. The Warbler just adds a little bit more stability with the fins, and it keeps them from like flopping around and stuff. But there are so many ways to attach headpieces to wigs. This is just one small option. My advice is to keep playing around and test things until you find the right attachment for you. And yeah, that's basically it. Thank you so much to my patrons. They help videos like this possible. You guys are so amazing. Like, I don't deserve you. What the heck? So yeah, thank you guys so much. Adam Hunt, Anime Crush, Blue Panda, Brian, Catastrophe Kitten, David Rosenbaum, Eric, Grimm, Helvigan, Jenny Lynn, Jim W, Joey, Livy N, Logan Don Carlos, Maois Meriden, Nathan M, Ninja Rookie, Nanaman, Randy Vaughn, Robert Gallardo, Sakura Kitty Chan, Synergy Craft, Veldemir, Yeet, and Zane Goose. Thank you guys so much. I hope you have a super awesome rest of the day, and I will see you guys with more Gyarados stuff probably first. And I am still working on Mewtwo. It's just that I've been swinging back and forth between pieces, so nothing's really like fully completed yet, so it really wouldn't make a good video. So it'll probably just be one video when I'm done, and it's gonna be like, oh my god, you guys, it's finished. I've been working on this since August and it's finally done. Okay, bye.